everybody, Maestro here. Welcome to the Con's Court. Today we are going to be doing a review on Invincible Season 3 all the way up to Episode 7 from Episode 1. And the reason that we're doing this the way we're doing it now is due to the fact that Episode 7 I feel like is a perfect stopping point right before we get to the really big climactic points in the show that go and delve into more important parts of the comics of Invincible. I have read the comics. I know how they go. And with that being said, I feel like stopping it at episode 7 is a very, very good place to stop it. Firstly, we're going to do this without spoilers. Obviously, if you guys know how the game is played here, we always do no spoilers first, and then we go into spoils after. So I'll talk a few minutes about it with no spoilers. The show so far is really, really good. I'm very much enjoying the show. It has many moments where you can tell that a lot of effort was put into the show. It definitely is on par with the other two seasons. Season 1 obviously being one of the best seasons of the show. For me personally, I would put Season 1 right up there at like number 1. I would then, funny enough, put Season 3 so far at 2. And I know a lot of people are going to be like, really? It's not even finished yet. So far, it already beats Season 2 for me. And Season 2, I would put in 3. This is definitely a good season. I'm very, very, very much liking how this is going. There are many parts of the show so far that are happening that very much are parallel or very similar to how they are in the comics, which is very cool. And there are a lot of different changes in the show in Season 3 that are not in the comics. And some of them are cool. Some of them are unfortunate. But all in all, very, very, very cool how this show is turning out. And I like how they're doing this. There are certain parts in Season 3, as there is in every single one of the seasons, where the animation quality is obviously not very good. It's no different than watching like PNGs or like pictures being just moved around very stationary to make it look like they're in motion, but they're not. But you can't notice it enough for it to be that bad. I see a lot of people on TikTok bashing it. It's really not that bad. It's really not that bad. If you're enjoying the show and the story as it is, you're not even really going to notice. It's not that big of a deal. People are freaking out over the animation, and I don't understand why. And a lot of people are also freaking out about some of the voice acting in Season 3. I don't see why. I think the show is doing phenomenal. I think this season, Season 3, is doing phenomenal. And it's only getting better. It's slowly building up to bigger threats, crazier stuff, and it's just getting better and better and better. And I am absolutely loving it. My review of the show so far is with it continuing how it is. If the Season 3 continues how it is and it continues to just climax higher and higher and higher, and it does it with this level of quality, I'm easily giving this like a 9 out of 10. Easily. So far, it's been a 9 out of 10. From episode 1 to episode 7, from how gradually it has gotten better and better, it's starting off slow, as it should, and slowly building up and just getting cooler and better as it goes on. I think that is like the perfect equation for having a very good season of a show. And honestly, every single season of any show should be that way. It should start off the story, kind of lay down kind of the ground rules of how the season's going to go, and then slowly build up and up and up until you get to the finale of that season. And I think this season is most definitely following that same like equation. You know what I mean? I like it a lot. So I would definitely give it so far a 9 out of 10. It's doing great. Unless something absolutely terrible happens or the animation quality is absolutely dog slobber, or like the story just completely goes to crap near the end and doesn't follow anything like it should. I don't see how this could go down very far. I mean, it's doing really well, and I don't see it dipping anytime soon. That is my spoiler-free review of season 3 so far, from episode 1 to 7. We are now getting into the spoils. It is spoil time, so if you do not want to be spoiled, I suggest you leave now. If you do not leave now, that is going to be your own fault. Can't get mad at me for it. I gave you a warning. As for everybody else, stand for my arrival, Worm, because here we go. Holy shit, brother. This is getting crazy. Like I said, starting off slow, you know, you're just kind of getting back with Invincible, and you're getting back with Alan and, you know, Omni-Man in the prison, and you're just starting to get back into all the stuff that was left off in a cliffhanger from the end of season 2. So now we're getting into, you know, how is this all going to play out? Stuff starts playing out crazy. The prison breakout with Alan and Omni-Man and then Battle Beast. Holy shit, dude. From that point, it is a really, really good story. And as it continues, the more little stories and side stories that they add into it are perfectly blending into the main storyline that this season is taking us down. It has been amazing. I mean, you know, we go with Invincible, him and Oliver, you know, him trying to teach Oliver how to be a superhero. The Mauler twins issue, you know, you've got Oliver first time ever killing a villain, and he kills both the Mauler twins. The first time you could maybe call it an accident, but we obviously see that he viciously murders the second Mauler twin. He had intent to kill. It was not an accident that next time. From that little storyline, which was absolutely brilliant and really got us into the character of Oliver, and then kind of his slow redemption into understanding why life is so precious, that part I absolutely loved. Like I said, the breakout scene of the prison, the Viltrumite prison, where we see Omni-Man finally getting back that humanity in him and saving Alan from getting beat down by the Viltrumites, and we get Battle Beast, you know, breaking out with Alan and just start ripping into the Viltrumites. Can I just say something about Battle Beast? Holy shit, that motherfucker runs the fade on sight. Does not give a damn. He does not give a damn. He says, if my life ends today during this battle, then it will be all the more sweeter. Holy shit. That is a motherfucker that loves the play of the game. He does it for the love of the game. That dude does it because he wants to die. He wants to fight somebody worthy enough to kill him. He doesn't even care about living. He wants to run the fade. He's all about them hands. He's catching hands. He's catching fades. He wants those fades. He wants the hands. He's like, bring it. He's trying to murk anybody that he can. He doesn't even want to have to deal with a lot of these pathetic guards that are inside the jail that they're in. He starts getting pissed off at Alan because he's like, the only strong one that I see here is you, and you promised me Viltrumites. You said these other 2 Viltrumites were fair game. This pleases me. Like, holy shit. That dude was on demon time. Battle Beast is on demon time. My God. Probably one of my favorite characters in Invincible. Him sticking his claws into the chest of that Viltrumite and biting the shit out of him and just blood all over his mouth. You know, death will be all the sweeter when I get murdered by someone worthy enough. Like, dude, this dude is on demon time. Holy shit. moving away from that, you know what I mean, that insaneness. Omni-Man finally joining the cause, and then we get the revelation of like, there's less than 50 pure blood Viltrumites, obviously, that are alive, which would explain a lot. It would explain why there's multiple Viltrumites that end up showing up to kind of make up for their lack of actual numbers, but to seem like they have enough numbers to give out that many people. So kind of like a fake facade of numbers that really isn't there. You know what I mean? I mean, just to take out Omni-Man, they sent 3, which you're like, oh my God, there must be a bunch if they're sending 3 just for one dude. But they're playing that facade really, really well. There's multiple times where, you know, also you got to think Omni-Man wanting to breed with another species to kind of add to the line of Viltrumites. For a species that thinks they're so overly powered, for them to only have a certain amount of number makes sense, because why would they want to interbreed? They have to have that breeding kind of, you know, it has to be talked about, and it has to be regulated, and it has to be accepted by the Viltrumite Empire, by Thrag. He has to accept, like, that's okay. This species is good enough for you to interbreed with. So it explains a lot. It really does explain a lot. It explains a lot why they're sending one Viltrumite to every single planet. And it also explains why a lot of planets don't have Viltrumites on them. Because it's like, if they have all those numbers, if they have so many numbers to send multiple Viltrumites to take on one person, you would think there would be at least one Viltrumite that they could send to every planet. And they don't do that. Why? Makes sense. Because there's less than 50 pure-blooded Viltrumites left in the universe. Which, you know, it's all coming together. And it's just, the storylines are just so good. Powerplex, the whole thing of him basically being like a Baron Zemo equivalent, you know, he had his family members die, so he's coming after Invincible because he's blaming Invincible because he can't blame Omni-Man. Omni-Man left the planet, so the only person he can attack is Invincible. His family dying due to him trying to get revenge on Invincible and using his wife and child as a decoy, but accidentally zapping them and murdering them. You know, that whole thing. And then, oh my God, Angstrom Livy. This dude is ridiculous. KSI sends all of these alternate dimensional marks, these evil marks, to the main Invincible universe to destroy everything they can, make everybody hate Invincible, to ruin his name, to make everybody now see the name Invincible and think of all that death and destruction. Then to try to go ahead and kill the people he loves, all of his friends, all the superheroes on the planet, you know what I mean? And then actually try to kill Invincible himself and or beat him. And send him off to another dimension to allow Angstrom to kill everybody that he loves and to fully destroy his world before he allows Invincible back for their final battle, and then Angstrom can kill him. Obviously, that's not how it ends up going. And Invincible wins. He beats Angstrom. He had gotten smarter. He had learned all of his tactics, all of his tricks. And when Angstrom threatens to actually kill his family and everybody else, Invincible, you know, pushes through the pain and beats him. Actually grabbing hold of his hand, trying to pull him through a portal, Angstrom cuts the portal and cuts his own arm off. So that was crazy. And it furthermore just kind of went back to show that, like, Oliver sees that some villains just need to die. And I kind of agree with Oliver to a certain point. Certain villains need to just be taken out. It's no different than, like, the Batman no killing rule and, like, the Daredevil no killing rule. You know what I mean? Sometimes villains like Bullseye, sometimes villains like the Joker, sometimes villains like Doomsday and, you know, other people like that, they just need to go. They just need to go. And Angstrom is the same way. This guy is too far gone. His mind is completely splintered. He is nowhere near the same person that he was. He's a complete abomination now. And all he wants to do is cause murder and mayhem. He is no longer doing things for justice. He is doing things out of pure evil and spite against Mark. And he will destroy entire worlds and universes just to make sure that Invincible feels pain. That guy needs to go. He just needs to die. And Invincible finally realizes that. He tries to pull him, tries to kill him, end him, and obviously it doesn't work out that way. He only cuts off. He doesn't cut off. Angstrom does it to himself, but you know what I mean. Angstrom's arm ends up getting cut off. And then the, like, makers or whatever they're called, the little, like, robotic people that fixed Angstrom the first time that Invincible almost killed him, they refuse to help Angstrom and build him back unless Angstrom serves them. So they are now the big bads on Angstrom's side. These three, like, cybernetic, like, demon-looking characters. They are now the main villains now when it comes to Angstrom's plans, and Angstrom now works for them. So crazy. All of the marks, for the most part, there was 18 that got sent to the universe, get absolutely destroyed, and only like 10 to 8 of them are left. So those marks try to turn on Angstrom before Angstrom gets his arm cut off and all that happens. He sends them into another dimension, the same dimension that he almost died in, the desert dimension there, and now they're stuck. So we're going to see how that plays out. Some of the characters in this show, in this season, have either not shown up, been replaced, or did not die.
Oh yeah, almost forgot to mention this too.
Fucking Rex died. He blew himself up like a fucking savage. I'm going to get into that now because those are quite important, and I want to say all of this before I forget. What do you want to call him? Omnivincible? I don't know if that's his legitimate name, if that's his actual, like, canon name for his alternate version. In the comics, he obviously dies. He dies to, what is it? Like, it's like a Mad Clown or Mad something. I forgot what the villain's name is or what the character's name is. Gets killed with a yo-yo or something like that. So that's insane. In the show, though, he does not. He does not. He is still alive, which is interesting. Perhaps the people making the show obviously thought that he looked really cool and wanted to keep him for a later time. Maybe give him a different death, a different thing, you know, kind of change up the story a bit, or make him one of the main other Invincibles as like an arch nemesis for Invincible, which would be a cool storyline to do. And I feel like takes potential talent that the comics threw away and actually using it to their advantage. It makes for a cool little storyline that they could break off into. The alternate Invincibles fight multiple different people in the comics, people from Image Comics that we know, including Spawn. That does not happen. There is the Viltrumite Invincible, like in the white suit, and he's talking about like how he actually killed Spawn, and he'll kill him again, and he says that in the comics in one of the panels. In the show, that does not happen. We do not get to see Spawn. Instead, it is replaced by the Wolfman, the werewolf guy. That's replaced by him. Another character from Image Comics, don't get me wrong, another good character. I obviously just wish it was Spawn. No different than like Agent Spider, I wish it was Spider-Man. But with the whole rights thing, obviously they did not have rights to Spawn, which kind of cracks me up because it's all Image Comics. I'm surprised that they don't have the rights. What are you going to do? But all in all, still really cool. We got to see Tech Jacket, although I believe it looked like it was a female version of Tech Jacket. I don't recall if there's multiple different Tech Jackets. I know Tech Jacket, there's a Tech Jacket that's a man. I don't know if there's Tech Jacket as a woman. It might just be an alternate universe, alternate version of him. But really, really cool nonetheless to see all those characters actually showing up. There were some other characters that I'm not fully familiar with, but there are other characters that are in Image Comics that were fighting off all the other marks. That was really, really cool. Then, with the after effect of the invasion of the other marks, of the other Invincibles, we finally get one of the biggest moments in the Invincible comics. Stand for my arrival, worm. We finally get Conquest. Holy shit! Super, super cool. I love Conquest. A lot of people were complaining about his voice, saying that he doesn't sound like he's supposed to. A lot of you motherfuckers have your brain rotted by the AI TikTok Conquest voice. I've seen them. A lot of people want somebody like Brolin. They want somebody who they want like a Thanos voice. You know what I mean? They want somebody like Josh to voice him. They want somebody who talks like Darkseid. Or someone who talks like, I don't even know, like the Mongol. They want somebody deep voiced like that to play a Conquest voice. Problem being, Conquest is an old man. He's an older guy. Yes, he's a Viltrumite. Yes, he's overly strong, but he's an older Viltrumite. He's still an older guy. He should have an older guy voice. He shouldn't sound like this. I am Conquest. That's not what he should sound like. He should sound more groggily, kind of older, like almost like that smoker type of like throaty, like gurgling voice. You know what I mean? Stand for my arrival, worm. It sounds more older. He sounds like an older man, which is exactly how he should sound. He should not sound like Thanos. You know, he shouldn't be coming up and being like, stand for my arrival, worm. He shouldn't be doing that. It would be goofy. It wouldn't make sense. So I don't understand all the complaining with that. But other than that, the show's really good. Like I said, I would probably rate this a 9 out of 10. It's a really, 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 really good season. Season 3 is really good. The show itself is really, really good. I would probably get the entire show so far a 9 out of 10. And they're talking about going for like 8 seasons. They're trying to get almost the entire comic book series of Invincible in this, which would be dope. This would be cool. But I'm going to be like 40 by the time all this gets finished. I'm going to be like 40, dude. I'm going to be like 30, honestly, by the time all of this is finished. This is insane. Because we're not even that very far into the comics, to be honest with you. If you're going off like the comics timeline, we're not even that far in, to be honest. So, insane. But all in all, that is my reaction and review to Season 3, Episode 1, 2, 3, all the way to 7. That is how I feel about the show so far. Those are my thoughts on it, my thoughts on the different cameos, the voice acting, the animation, all of that stuff. This is a really, really good show. And I cannot wait to see more. And I can't wait to see what they've got cooking for the Conquest and Invincible fight. I will definitely be super excited to see that. I will probably make a review for that episode alone because of how good that probably is going to be. With that being said, guys, if you all enjoyed my spoiler-free and spoiler review, make sure to leave a like, subscribe, and share. Post your comments down below. Let me know what you all thought about my review, my thoughts, my opinions, and the show itself. I would love and highly appreciate getting feedback from you guys. I always love reading the feedback that you guys have and your guys' thoughts and opinions on this as well. And I will catch you on the next video. Peace.